Since I'm going to be exploring narrative in video games, I've got a
Right.
special guest here. And introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Cezary Chubala. I'm a Polish game developer. I've been in the game development industry for the past 4 years, and I've been active for a year now.
Okay. So do you think story and narrative is important in video games?
It really depends on the game, because if you make an RPG or a JRPG and you don't pay much attention to the story, the game is going to get boring with time. But let's say you make an endless runner like Temple Run, you don't really need to pay attention to the story. All the story you need is some monsters are chasing the guy, and that's it. But yes, in some cases, the story is very important. For example, the first game we made for a game jam, our game won the story category. So the fact that we paid attention to the story really paid off.
Okay. Do you think good story also impacts the success of video games? For example, sales and reviews and stuff.
Yes, because sometimes a game can be buggy as hell. It can be totally broken in game mechanics, but story-wise, it can save the game a lot. For example, the first game I mentioned that we made, I remember I took a long break before making it, and it was very buggy. There was a lot of glitches, but with the story, luckily it got an award. But yeah, I think story can impact sales a lot.
Okay. So other than story, since that's not the only factor that contributes to the whole game, what other factor do you think is important in the process of making a game?
Well, the main thing I can think of is gameplay and gameplay mechanics. Because personally, for around a year when I made games, I usually looked at the game and thought, this is going to be a finished product. And I only wanted to finish the game. But with time, I realized that testing the game and checking if the game is fun to play, which the user is going to do ultimately, is very important in the game development process. So game development, yes. And graphics and audio, really, I made several games where I did not pay attention to that. And I still believe the games were very fun to play. So in my opinion, the most important aspect of a game is the gameplay and if it's fun to play.
Yeah. So I think I've seen one of your past games. It's called Boating Away.
Oh yes, Boating Away, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the game that I'm currently working on, and it's going to be released for mobile soon, I believe, a month, maybe.
Okay, so
More or
that's
less.
more of a linear game. It's not really anything
Yes,
to do with story. Yeah.
yes. When I was making it, I wanted to make something simple that you can play for hours. So I decided, to go on the Play Store, look for hyper casual games. And then I looked in my memory and I was like, oh yes, there was Flappy Bird. There was Don't Touch the Spikes. There was Temple Run.
Mm.
And I looked at all those. Right. But yeah, there was a lot of games like those. And I looked at them. I looked for the key features that made them addictive in a way, what made them enjoyable. I looked at the graphics, the audio, but mainly I looked why people play them so long in terms of gameplay, what makes it so addicting. And so I realized it's all about the game not getting boring after a while. So adding new ships to buy, for example, in my game, adding new maps, that's the way to encourage users to play, along with a simple gameplay mechanic, which is also fun.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
so that's a upcoming Polish game developer, and he has lots of hopes in the future in the gaming industry. So yeah,